Got ourselves a whole team, the whole squad. Drakbird. Oh, you're Og. Oh, you got Smog. Wait, we got Drak, Og, and Smog. We got 2 dragons. One. Actually, both of you augmentation. Interesting. Leo on a shaman. Volpera. I think the Volpera is the more questionable one than you being a shaman. Because you see it in a monk, you actually do really, really well. Minari got a fantastic set. As well as got ourselves Argenda Lord. Wait, is that it? Argenda Lord? Argenda Lord. Okay, I'm double checking. I'm just double checking. Drakabird is gonna go for a full shroud. Got himself immunity to CC versus Holy Saya as the first competitor. You gotta catch up to him quick. Slows him down immediately. Saya can't really stun him. He can go for some damage. Drakabird got himself a little bit of distance. Got himself an eruptions to follow up after the upheaval. Needs to get himself a proper setup with what looks like potentially sleep into a big deep breath. Just still continue to drop eruptions back to back onto Saya as a Drakabird. His shroud still active, cannot be stunned for a little bit. Wall may need to come down here. Sleepwalk again onto Saya. He got himself a big roar. Does he follow with a big deep breath? He may need everything here. He may need to use everything. Deep breath does not connect with the stun of Josiah. He's trying to get the turn going, but it's just not happening. Cheat death procking, but does go down. That is super unfortunate. The deep breath ability, I wish they gave you a better turn radius, honestly. Because you try to turn and Saya just up wooden out of the way. As that turn for that thing is way too slow. Leo, full ascent onto Saya, but a blind out of the Paladin just to see if he can escape Leo. Got himself a bit of that slow with consecration. Leo tried to see if he could set up totems. Got him some wind strikes back to back, avoiding that consecration just so he doesn't get slowed. But Saya is going to end up escaping him with a regenerating behind the corner immediately. Lasso by Leo. Are you going to end up using your Volpera racial energy point, by the way? Is that even usable? I imagine that's an okay heal. They did buff it by a bunch. Burrow down on the ground and try to see if he can catch up to Saya. He's definitely going to have to get another big setup. Next up by Saya, potentially could be really deadly. Leo trying to see if he can keep himself afloat. With a wall active, got himself a Dawnlight burning on him. Saya not using Dawnlights on himself at the moment, so he's trying to see if he can stay aggressive a little bit. What's up, Andros? How you doing, my man? Hope you're doing good. Leo, try to see if he can get himself an angle here. I think just to escape. Saya does get that. Bro, excellent knock, man. Excellent knock, but the Dawnlights are still on him. Is going to be taking constant damage. Can heal at least. Enhanced Shaman, if anything, can heal. And that small Shaman stun totem barely could see it. Could have almost ran into it. I think that one is actually hard to avoid. And Leo, every one of his heals just lets him top himself back up no matter how much damage and pressure Saya keeps putting in. As long as Leo has the Maelstrom, he's okay. He's got himself Bulwark, able to zap through Saya's shield. Saya with the lay on hands, using a big heal in order to catch up with Leo, catching up a ton of healing while the shield is active. So he's actually able to match Saya to some degree. He's able to heal against Saya fairly well, as long as he has a Maelstrom. But I think he's playing that one talent. I forget what's it called every time. But like if Chicago's here or somebody, then probably let me know. But it's a talent where you gotta first spend Maelstrom offensively, and then you can use like that. You get a buff that basically acts like Maelstrom for a self heal. So you send out a lightning bolt, you get a free heal. It still costs mana, but you basically use your Maelstrom offensively and then defensively in then 2 globals back to back without wasting any more mail. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. It gives you like fake Maelstrom that you use just for heals every time you use it offensively. Basically. Yeah. It's going to be big damage on Leo. Maybe in a bit of trouble. May need something here. Lightning Lasso needs a heal right now. Ascendance is active. Maybe he'll get the Maelstrom. No, he doesn't get the Maelstrom to get himself any healing. That is unfortunate. Ride the Storm. Is it Ride the Storm? I don't think it is Ride the Storm. Or is it? I want to say maybe not. Bop out of Saya as Argenda trying to see if he can get some bleeds. Is going to go for a clone. Going to get interrupted. Bear form. Got himself plenty of opportunity to catch up a healer or two. We only hit that 4-minute mark. Dampening rolling in a 16% dampening is going to be trinket out for Argenda. Saya does not have anything but a bubble. Argenda could potentially get a big bleeds up to Saya and force a bubble on him. I think enhancement is dead to me. Ride the Storm, I'm pretty sure, is a talent that gives you chain lightnings or random bolts of lightning bolt if they target's like super far away or if they're stacked together, right? Or am I wrong about that? Maelstrom, I need to figure out what the talent is. It has a name. It's like I don't know what's it called. I just know the sound that it makes when it heals you. You know what I mean? I just don't know what it does. Argenda mages go down here. It's gonna be bear form, Barskin wall with Heart of the Wild. You got the most amount of healing available right now. at 20% dampening. This is the most amount of healing you can get. Saya is also very, very low. Those bleeds are rotting him little by little. Ursus is going to send him back a bit. Does have proc of wings, and that's going to give him opportunity for some more Dawn Lights. Agenda Lord, Agenda Gord? Oh, Gord. That's, oh, his name is Gord. Never mind. May need something here, but Saya with yet another Dawn Light is just enough to take him out. Still holding on to a bubble, with Midari going to be up next as a Shadow Priest Pandaren. What they need to do for Midari, they don't have a lot of mobility, so they need to get Saya out in the open. They need to burst him down, do whatever damage they can, force a bubble out of Saya, hopefully mass a spell if possible, or just trade and disperse for the bubble. That'll be their best situation, but definitely going for like a, are you Archon, or are you Rift Pally? I actually can tell. Dark Ascension taking lots of hits though. Maybe disperse right now. That is a lot of damage you're taking. Trinket, disperse for panic. I don't blame you. Honestly, probably best to save one or the other, but definitely don't blame you. He's gonna get a rip. I forgot how squishy Priest can be. I forgot. Smog is the last one left. Over for the team one. That whole team got torn apart by Saya. Who's running with who's playing this game with an injury right now. But it's Smog. We hit with a blind and immediate wake of ashes as cleaves him, and he's down to half health. And there's nothing he can do to catch up to Saya. Literally nothing. Stun again from one CC to the next. Got to sleep on the Saya. Nullifying Shroud. Finally got himself an opportunity for some damage. Big fire breath. Deep breath. Got himself eruptions, but the eruptions are not hitting Saya. They're hitting somebody else instead. Quick kick on a Smog, and Saya just takes it either way. That is rough. Saya with a clean sweep. That is rough. Got ourselves team one together with Elo as a Demon Hunter. We got there Jayhawk as a Frosty, or Rig back with the Death Knight. Bot as an enhancement. I don't think Bot got to play last time at all, did he? And only the only shaman in here, the only elemental to join these. At least I think so. It's been a while since we had some LE, but only is going to be up next. Got him some healing surges, rode on to Rest in Hell, who's back in. This beautiful looking butterfly. Only trying to see if he can get himself any kind of healing, any kind of recovery. That is a lot of damage on a Demon Hunter though. Into a prison. Does he have a stun? Stun to follow up. Not feeling all that good. That's just a lot of damage. Big cleaver right after. He just doesn't have the big damage to follow up. The blade dances are doing a lot. Wall is active. Ascendance is active though too. And Rest in Hell going to back the hell out of this as soon as possible. Then it's going to be those ghosties joining in for only. So that's going to give him quite a bit of extra additional damage. As like a turret, mobile turret. Still has a damage on the only. Meteor's coming down. Does take a huge hit. But it's just not enough. Blade Dance does take it. I was thinking for Rest in Hell, he did so much burst in the opener. I was thinking he was going to continue that burst pressure afterwards, but actually slowed down after a while. That's rough. Bot is going to be up next though. Big damage by Rest in Hell. Does he have enough here? Bot back it up out of there. Hold on a second. Healing Surge is available. Going to be a big old I-beam by Rest in Hell charging in. As he got himself plenty of big damage though. He's got himself also big Ascend on top of it. That is also a totem for movement speed. Rest in Hell trying to see if he can control him as best as possible with a bunch of damage, but also a bunch of CC. Darkness down. Got him some Metamorphosis active. Big cleave available. Trying to see if he can make some damage happen off of it. That's going to be a huge Blade Dance with a potentially Chaos Strikes. Bot taking so many hits. Even through wall. Having to go for a Bulwark. There's some big crit damage right there though. Absolutely getting shredded. Torn apart by DAH. As Rest in Hell tried to keep the pressure on him as best as humanly possible. Bot got himself, I don't know if he's got himself any much in terms of survivability. He's got himself burrow. He can just burrow on the ground, but his health is getting very, very dire. Rooted onto Rest in Hell, picking up a little bit of healing. Whatever health he can get. Rest in Hell picked up a lot of healing off of that Earth Elemental. Just Leech, meta, Earth Elemental. The Hunt does go for a trinket, avoiding that second stun totem. Got him some potential and plenty of damage here. For Bot, this could be a really, really rough spot. He's got him some plenty of thunder, but the guy just got plenty of damage. Rest in Hell putting pressure on these boys. Breath to Fall on Paladin right after. Does not have an out here. He could potentially burn immunity. I don't know if he'll have it. I think it's over. Yeah. Damn. Demon Hunters do so much damage, man. So much damage. But they also are very squishy. Glass Cannon and a half. FBK is going to get caught out in the open by a Blizzard, unfortunately. As Jayhawk is going to be very aggressive, trying to see if he can keep that guy out of cell to the best as possible. Trying to see if he can go for that reverse blinks to put himself in a good spot. That's a lot of damage onto FAK though. This guy barely gets a chance to play, and he's already sitting at like 40% health. 30%, never mind. Scratch that. Frozen Orb, Frozen Bomb. Frost Bomb does a lot of damage apparently. Does go for a blink kick in order to put some pressure on the guy. He got him some bear form. Heart of the Wild. Try to see if that maybe be enough in order to keep himself afloat here. Also got images around the corner, so that's going to keep pelting FEK. And it's going to put him in a rough spot. The Feral Druid is not in a great spot at all here, man. Not in a great spot. Got himself a kick. Big Convoke. Potentially big damage, but it's going to be a kick by Jay on top of it. Not feeling good whatsoever. Big freeze onto effect. Is that going to be enough? Got himself big ultra. Ray of Frost. Going to get the shatter bonus since he's stunned while frozen. That stun does count also as frozen. But looks like he's got himself a ton of recovery. Off of that big burst. Looks like Feck the entire time had himself a big heal go at all times. Leaping in. Trying to go for a kick. Block out for Jay. As he's looking to back up out of this as quickly as possible. You for a zone the room gives you so many KXP for a level. What? Oh. As it gonna be FK backing up out of there for a second. And Jay's sorry chat, I'm distracted here. I'm trying to read a message but also trying to be part of this as well. Might be. FK, where are we going right now? Mounted up. Just trying to see, I think you can go for a bit of a reset. Cooldowns wise, Feral Druid actually does still have plenty of defenses in terms of just raw damage reductions, but in terms of self-healing, he's actually kind of limited. Yeah, a little bit limited. He wants to go in for some damage though. Convoke is available. Big Feral Frenzy's in. Maybe he goes in for a maim. That is a lot of damage on the J. Look, the blades are just melting him. He's got plenty of damage to reverse back at FK. Trying to see if he can make a big play happen. And it's going to be wall and everything available. Got him some flurries, everything up. Try to go for a clone, misses it. There's an opportunity to go for clone again, but he has line of sight. Barely has a line of sight, but he does have it. FK, not a lot of health is available. Shift the power out for Jay. He's gonna go for Convoke defensively. Try to see if he can heal himself the entire time. Not a bad move, honestly. Defensive Convoke for a heal. I like how at least there's at least there's that possibility. Out of all options, Convoke heal. He does have some other heals coming back up too as well. He's got himself Nature's Vigil, I think it is. That always got used. He got Renewal and Heart of the Wild coming up in like 3-ish minutes or so. It's gonna be a while until that is back. Got himself a nice little corner where he can just chill, spreading some of those insects, but they're really there to heal. But for Jay, he's got a lot of options, man. No more 2 blocks. No more blocks. Doesn't have the second one either. Ultra is available, but he's gonna have to be very, very careful with the ultras. Needs to use Ultra really early. As soon as the Feral opens up back on him, doesn't trip on Frost, doesn't have to worry about blocks at least. That is going to be a lot of dot damage. Jay is going to have to go for an ultra. This is where FAK, if he was positioned correctly, I think he could have just stayed next to Jay. Maybe got a big bite as soon as he ultras in. But he just got to keep those bleeds and dots rolling for a little longer. And Jay's going to be in a lot of trouble. Trying to see if he can stay mobile, not to get frozen by the Ring of Frost. Trying to potentially even catch a reset, but he's not going to be able to with those images on him. Trying to see if he can parachute around, runs into a freeze, however. For Jay, that's an opportunity to go for a proper go. Stun, everything is available. Doesn't need to go bear form, so he's able to prevent some of the damage. Has a lot better health to work with here. Bear form at least a little bit tanky than a feral form. Tries to go for a skull bash, does not connect. Convoke, interrupted, and Jay with a couple of lances does end up taking him out. Well done, well done. And Lemon trying to see if he could rush back over there. See if he can get himself a quick in cap. Brad does not connect for Jay. Legs to fall. It's just over. It's just over. That is rough. Who's up next? Is it Rick? Is it Lalo? I think Leo's trying to give him a second try to find out. I think both Rick and Ella will try to get out of the way just so the two can have their own duel without cleaving anybody down. With Ella going in for a stun. Lemon with a trinket. Got himself images. Fist of Fear flying in. Ella will need to use plenty of defenses in order to live this damage. Got himself the I-beams though. Able to cleave him down. Hunt, but it's going to be a big old karma. And I think it's just over. I don't even know where Ella went for a second. I lost the health bar, but maybe the health bar just disappeared. Just literally went down to like next to 0. And Rick immediately leaves. I'm not sure what happened. But Jay does pick up 2. Lemon picking up 2. And Rest and Hell picking up 2. I'm not sure what happened with Rick at the end. I think maybe walked in and maybe thought, wait, I have the wrong build. Or wait, I'm wearing wrong gear. Something happened there. I'm not sure what happened, to be honest. But yeah, Rick and Johnny, let me know both